Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm about to run some Sancha Havens to get some Dank Isk in my really delicious rattlesnake that loves to eat up the Sancha monsters that are invading our Nullsec territory. Actually, one thing I just wanted to quickly show you was that I've actually got these things called cerebral accelerators. So I don't know if you've seen them. I think I have shown them before, but they are basically these cerebral accelerators that I get when people use my referral link that I have in my description. So if you use that and make a new character, you get you get 1 million skill points, and I get one of these if you buy something on it. But the point I'm trying to make now is that I've actually been using these. So I originally, when I came down here to Nullsec, was that I had I think it was 7 of them. So basically what I've decided is, when I finish these cerebral accelerators, I'm going to return to Highsec. Because, I mean, Nullsec is fun. It's been a good change of pace. I think it's been very healthy to actually do this, just to do something different. But I feel like Highsec is my home. That's where I belong, at least at this point in my EVE career. So when I've finished using up all those cerebral accelerators, which will be in 6 days, then I'll go back to Highsec. So what I'm doing now is I'm checking which one is a rock haven, which one is a gas haven. The rock havens are a lot better because they contain mostly battleships, which are gonna give more bounty. And the other ones, the gas havens, there's a lot more of the smaller ships. They take longer to kill and they don't at all give us good bounty. Or they don't take longer to kill, but they have really little bounty. It's not at all worth as much time. It's not worth the time as much to go for those. That's why I go for the rock havens. And you can tell because if you click warp and then click stop, then you actually see ship computer here. So I'm going to go there. And the reason I want to get some Dank Isk is because I want to buy the Vorton Projector skill books, specialization skill books, because they are very expensive. The small one goes for 700 mil, I think. The medium one, I think, a bill. And the large one even more. I hope they reduce in price soon, so maybe they will reduce in price soon. But I do not like it they're this expensive, but I do want to eventually fly those Eton ships properly, and that's exactly what I'm training right now. If we go here actually into my skills, you can see all these Eton stuff I've got lined up here. I just want to become maxed out in them, and they are actually a bit easier to train into than actually the standard ships. So actually, if you are a new player and you're an Omega, I think actually there would be pretty good skills to train into, because the support skills like this Vorton arc protection, arc guidance, they don't have actually as much skill point requirements as many of the support skills I've noticed for other ships. Like, I feel like you've got a lot more support skills, like the surgical strike, and the ones that require a lot more skills compared to other ones. Like drones, especially drones, they have like these skills like drone interfacing, and these require so much skill points. If we go here, I think if I can just quickly show you, if I go into gunnery, and then if I go to if we go into drone interfacing or drone avionics, there's this one like drone interfacing, 1.2 million SP. 1.2 million SP, but then if we go to Vorton projector amplification, this is 1 million SP, and then half million, 250, half a million. Like, there's not at all so many support skills, so it's quite easy to get them maxed out, and I like that. So that could be actually good alternatives for someone who's a new player. So what I did was, right now, is I found out the optimal way to do these havens is to just warp in at 50. So you saw I warped in at 50 kilometers. Actually, I'm just going to remove these bookmarks because these are old bookmarks that I had from yesterday that I was actually farming sites in. And what I will do is I'll then, as you saw me, I just hold down Q and click there and then went up a little bit. So now I've used my MJD and now I'm here. Then when I'm up here, I just align here and go and shoot the tyrants with my drones and missiles. Pretty simple, pretty simple. The tyrants seem to be almost doing the most damage. They have the longer ranged variants. I've noticed that in all of the pirates factions you fight against in these anomalies, you actually come across battleships, 2 types of battleships. You either come across the kind of kitey guy, or you come across the kind of brawly guy. Now the brawly people, they're actually not as big of an issue, because if I'm sitting at this 50-kilometer range, they will not be able to hit me at all. The problem are the kitey people. These tyrants in this case are the kitey people. They do damage quite fast. What the heck? Why my Praetors do I need switching to my Praetor? Okay, no, actually I need to kill them, because if they're orbiting, I've never seen this actually, battleships going for my drones. It's always frigates I've seen. The reason I'm just going for these, not returning them, is because I know that they've not got so good tracking for my drones, and if then, alright, let's just see now who is actually shooting. I think they Let's go for the battle cruisers. Actually, I think they will actually do the more damage to my drones. Actually, let's just kill up these battle cruisers very quickly. Split them up, maybe even a little bit. Maybe they'll help a little bit. I don't know. If I return them, then it'll reduce the amount of transversal, and then they'll probably my drones will die very quickly. This is actually the first time I've ever seen battleships switch to my drones and battle cruisers. I almost always see cruisers. Almost always see frigates. Sometimes cruisers. Never have seen battleships before. The only time I've seen battleships switch to drones is in the Abyss. Actually, the Bethnik Abyssal Overmind. It's not. It is uncommon, but it's not completely like something you will never see, that the Bethnik Abyssal Overmind switches to your drones. It's like a kind of rogue drone battleship. I think I have some theory. I've not really been able to verify this in some way. So if you guys do know some kind of like a law or something, I think it definitely has something to do with the fact that rogue drones have a thing for attacking my drones. Because when I'm in the Abyss, it's always the rogue drones who do go crazy on my drones. Those rogue drone frigates go crazy, and the rogue drone battleship as well. They like to destroy the drones. I feel like maybe they hate other drones or something. Okay, so now here's a frigate wave. Now what I'll do is I'll just pre-shoot my cruise missile, because I'm going to go on the Tyrant. Then I'm going to launch my drone attack. Have my drones go for the frigates, and what I do is I just do it here and put the target painted and ease the drones to shoot them more. And all the time when I'm doing this, I'm aligning to a keep star. So if some guy decides to just come in here, I'm just one button, oh, I'm gone. Or two buttons if I'm not selected. Just click, and then I'm gone. I'll instantly warp off. And it doesn't matter if I lose my drones. These drones are worth only like a couple of million. Not at all as much as my Rattlesnake, which is worth 600 million. But this is actually quite a cheap fit, as you maybe have seen me do before. This is a very cheap fit for a Rattlesnake. Now it says it's a bit more, and I think that's because I maybe got something in my cargo or something. Maybe it's this Soren's passkey, I'm not sure. But it was at least saying yesterday 600 million, and the last time I checked 600 million. So this is completely a fully Tech 2 fit Rattlesnake, and it works completely fine to do the Havens, and you get some nice DPS with my skills. 1.3k DPS, I would say that's pretty damn decent right there. You can get up to 30 million ticks. Sometimes it's a bit less, or actually quite often it's a bit less, and it just happens to be I'm not really paying too much attention. So like, sometimes I'm not really shooting, and I just realize, oh wait, I stopped shooting, because the Rattlesnake is just so good at this. Sometimes you even forget that you're actually doing ratting, so that in itself actually sometimes contributes a bit to inefficiencies. Okay, so this is the path. You see, I warped in. Oh wait, let's see now. Where is the warp in? The warp in was just about here. Just about here, right there. So I used my MJD and went here to the more MTUs right here. Then I just align back. So then by the time the site is ended, I'll probably be around here, and that'll be about 70 kilometers. And that is also a like, see here, I forgot to shoot my cruise missile. That's what I'm talking about, those inefficiencies right there. By the time I've got to the last wave, then I'm probably about 70 kilometers away from the enemy. So you can see I'm about 25 kilometers right here. But when I get to the end, then I'll be about 70 kilometers away, and that's really good, because at that range, even the Tyrants, those kitey guys, they will hardly do any damage to me. And that's also very useful, because in the end, the last wave, that tends to be that's the highest DPS wave in the Havens. So I mean, it's no problem if I'm at range, but if I'm up close, I will have problems. So you don't take this fit, go into point blank and expect to survive. Okay, you won't. You'll have to warp out, or in worst case, you will die. So this is why I think it's this aligning strategy at 50 kilometers, going MJD and out, then that usually is a good strategy right there. At least it works for the way my citadels are aligned. Maybe your citadels are aligned in a little bit of a different way. But sometimes I actually do notice that they have it so that I actually go too far away, like I drift too far away. I go to maybe 80 kilometers, 90 kilometers, and that is a bit of a problem, because the cruise missiles, they have no problems. They've got 111 kilometer range. The problem is my drones. So I've got a drone link augmented 2. That's really good. I've got pretty good skills, 81 kilometers drone control range, but still, if I'm at 80, 90 kilometers, 85 even more, no, I won't be able to just control my drones, or at least tell them to attack, and that's going to be issues. So you obviously want to be closer than 81 kilometers, or what your drone control range is. I remember when I was an alpha clone, then the skills you have when you're an alpha clone, they're like really bad. The support skills for the drones, they make it so that if you've got maxed out alpha clone skills without a drone link augmenter, you have, I think it's you had a 40-kilometer drone control range. 40 kilometers! And with a DroneLink Augmenter 1, you have 60 kilometers. And a DroneLink Augmenter 2, I think 65. I don't even think you can. Yeah, you have to use. So you can't even use this DroneLink Augmenter 2 as a alpha clone. So like you got 60 kilometers, you got or 40 kilometers even, and you got 81. And I have not kilometers, and I've not even got maxed out skills. I think there is one skill I can actually train that makes me have actually the range. Yeah, this one here. You see this advanced drone avionics, 3 kilometers more, so I could have 84-kilometer range. That's like. Still possible upgrades. I can get even further. I just happen to not have done that because that skill takes a long time to get. You can see here 1.2 million skill points, 1 million skill points for 3 kilometers. I'm a bit hesitant on doing that straight away. There's a lot more important things I can train in the meantime, like for example these Edencom skills right here that don't have a lot big of, or as big as a skill point requirement, and give me a lot better bonuses. Something I've actually been thinking about was using a Thunderchild in these havens, because these havens, they are actually have everyone really close together in this like rock formation right here. So if I'm using a Thunderchild, you know the Thunderchild, the Edencom battleship, this ship, if it goes in here and uses the Voton projectors, it's gonna go crazy on these guys because everything is so close to each other. It'll be able to link the damage. So I think with max skills, you can get the Thunderchild to do 400, even more DPS, over 400 DPS. If you're applying then to 5 targets, which there almost always are 5 targets on the grid in these havens, then you'll be effectively doing 2000 DPS if you apply it all. And that, in my opinion, is really good, because then you will be getting like, we're talking 40 million plus ticks. Be absolutely crazy. The only thing I'm thinking is that with that, it's going to be quite hard to get the sites, because I'm in GEHJV, the home system of Brave, and even if I just run a lot of these havens, I can finish up the havens and have to wait a bit until until new ones spawn. If I'm using a Thunderchild, I'm definitely going to deplete all the havens, and that's just assuming no one else is here. If no one else is here, it's going to be even worse, so I'll have to like move around a lot to get new havens, which actually makes sense actually with that, you know, that dynamic bounty system thing, where everything, you know, the more people who are using or doing ratting in a system, that makes it so that it's less valuable, and the less people it's more valuable, so then it will be kind of favorable to go around and just finish up the sites quickly and move around. You can see here my drone is taking quite the beating, and they went for particularly a drone that was taking a lot of damage in the very beginning as well, so that makes it even more annoying. Maybe I'll actually recall one of my drones and just replace it actually, because this is quite annoying to see one of these drones getting hit this hard. Though I don't think there's any more waves now with the frigates. I think the next one is the cruiser wave, which is the second last wave. Always important to align out in the second last wave, because then it can make it so that you have a, how do you say, the big boy will come in the last, has a possibility of coming in the last wave. The Dreadnought, that guy will almost insta kill you. You don't want to mess with that. The Dreadnought is just someone who you don't want to mess with in any subcapital ship. Maybe a Marauder, just maybe. I don't think so, but maybe a Marauder will be able to get through. But even then, I don't even think you'll be able to kill it, and it will newt you pretty hard, at least the Serpentis one. I'm not sure about the Sancho one, but I know the Serpentis one does newt you out pretty hard. So what you want to do is you want to always be aligned out. So if you see a Dreadnought on the last wave, just get out of there. Ask your friends to help you later. There's almost always, if you're in a decent alliance with somewhat capable alliance, then you should have the people around with carriers. That's what people do. Them 2 carriers is apparently what you need to kill the Dreadnought that spawns in, or another Dreadnought. 1 carrier can sometimes do it if they've got blinged outfits apparently, but I think 2 carriers, as far as I understand, is the optimal. I've never flown a carrier, so I'm not the most one to talk, but that's what people have told me when it comes to doing these Dreadnought rooms. Okay, there we go. So we see that there's got cruisers now. The cruisers, yeah, they are there. This is indicating it's the second last wave. So after this, it's going to be that last wave. Let's just shoot my cruise missiles here and go for the cruisers with my drones. I'm going to use my target painter to apply a bit more damage to the cruisers. I'm a bit confused if it would maybe be better to use a target painter, or it'd just be better to, or if I should like divide my cruise missile launcher up to go on the Tyrant, or just go the cruise missile launcher on the cruiser, because I think I can apply okay to the cruiser, just not really good. And also the bad thing about going on a battleship with just my missiles, it will make it so that he has a lot more time to repair him, because if I'm doing a lot more damage, then it'll have less time, they'll have less time to repair, and it'll be more efficient. My damage will be used more efficiently. While if I focus them all on the same target with the drones, then I'll have it'll be more efficient, compared to like just splitting them all up. And then this guy, you can see he is going to have a lot more time to repair. You will see, go down there, and he's probably going to repair anytime. So I'm not sure if it maybe is better to just shoot my cruise missiles on the cruisers and take a bit of reduced application, or use them on the battleships but split them from my drones so their repairing is more efficient. But I think it is better for me to go with the cruise missiles on the Tyrants, though you hear that they are called cruisers, and cruise missiles you'd think apply well to cruisers, right? The missiles, maybe it's because these are missiles that are the size of a cruiser. Let's see actually how big these missiles are, because you actually can see this. Do you know that? This is actually an interesting thing with EVE Online. I like it how in EVE Online you can actually just show info and stuff. So we can actually, this is the wrong button right here. Show charge info. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we click on here. Can I show this? Oh no, I can't. Okay. Well, one thing we can do is, if we go here, I know that I definitely can do this, is actually if you show info on the launcher, click here, there we go. You see the launcher is 19 meters. Okay, so that's not the size of a cruiser. Unfortunately, I thought maybe this cruise missile launcher would be the same size as a cruiser, but you know, a cruiser is maybe, I don't know, this size. So you're not going to have missile launchers that size. Maybe capital launchers, I think you will be able to. Let's see now. Rapid torpedo launcher. This is a capital sized gun or missile launcher. Looks pretty cool actually. Look at all these torpedoes right here. 152 meters long. I think maybe a small cruiser is that size, but it's more like a frigate, to be honest. Let's see if we can find another gun that's a lot bigger. I know the Giga Beam laser is pretty good. Okay, so we want to just pay attention here. No dreadnought. Okay, good. Now I'm going to, this is the last wave. You can see there's a ton of people. We want to just shoot our missile now on the Tyrants. There we go. Unfortunately, no Trusancha. No Trusancha. I like the Trusancha. We see the Trusancha in the last wave. I really love seeing them because they can give really good ISK from those faction drops. I've only got one Trusancha out of all these havens, and it was the first one. After that, nothing. Me and this guy in how do you say, in the Corp, they have a we have a theory that CCP does this so that when it like notices you started doing like nullsec activity, or started doing like activity in these like escalations or anomalies, then it gives you like an escalation first, or true sanction drop. But then you do more, and then it doesn't give as much because it kind of is there to hook you in. Well, that's what we've also had. Both of us have had an experience that we started doing it, and then like the first or second site, we get something really good, like an escalation or a faction drop. Then after that, it doesn't happen. That's happened with me 2 times before. Remember that if you go and look at my channel, I took Drake 6 out of 10. Almost the second or first site I got 6 out of 10. That's after not doing any for a really long time. And there's just same thing as straight away I got it. And also the first time I ever was a nullsec at all, I actually went to an asteroid belt, and I found this hauler spawn. And a hauler spawn is when you get these like really big, or not big, but these cargo ships, these pirate cargo ships that carry a lot of valuable materials, like 100 million worth of materials, I think it was. And that was the first like day. And that was really nice. Oh, some guy says that they love my videos. So thanks, man. Cool. This is the fun thing, you know. People were actually. I never really expected my videos to get this big. I mean, it's still a lot more YouTubers that are bigger than me, but I never would have expected to come to the extent that people actually recognize me in game. It's actually happened quite often. In fact, it's sometimes when I go to these like. Remember back when emerging conduits existed, it would sometimes happen that if I go to an emerging conduit system, because most of the guys there doing PvE activities, I do a lot of PvE activities, they're probably going to have seen my videos. Then it's actually more common than uncommon that people recognize me and say, hey, 07 or something like that. I think that's pretty cool. Actually, I never would have expected that to happen. This was all from the beginning, was, to be honest, just to be a way to just show off the things I do, really. It seems like people actually like it. Dreadlord. You know, they have all these very... I've noticed with the Sancha, and just in general, pirates, NPC pirates, they have really, like, dreadful, like, intimidating names. The Dreadlord, the Devil, the Sentatus Devil. But then you just volley them like just so quickly. It's like, the Dreadlord falls within 20 seconds. Whoa, the mighty Dreadlord is killed by some Praetors. Yeah, we just killed a Dreadlord. Yay! Let's go on my Praetors. These teeny little Praetors, they're just going crazy on these Dreadlords. Yeah, we're gonna wreck you, man. Okay. I want to keep an eye on my tab because I was a bit not being so responsive or responsible there. Some cheeky saber could have just warped in, and I would have not had enough time to warp out then if I was not looking at the right tab. Let's actually lock up a few more things. Or even more worse, the cloaking guy. I mean, the thing is, I'm always aligned out, so someone could just come in at 0, decloak, and just lock me up. But I'll just blip, blip, and gone. So it's going to be extremely hard, unless they're lucky and get me when I'm not paying attention. It's going to be very hard for someone to actually take me out, because I'm always aligned. I'm always aligned, and I'm always just ready to just jump out if something happens. Okay, this Sentatus Wraith seems to be actually took like a big hit with the almost structure, and then it's just alive. I think what has happened, this happens actually quite often, and I think what happens is, you know, when the NPCs they spawn in, what I think is that before I lock them up, my drones, they often will start shooting before I even lock stuff up, because they got this like auto aggression thing, that like this aggressive thing means that if they were attacking me, then they'll automatically start attacking. So I think what happened is that they started attacking something, and then when I locked things up, you know, I said I wanted to go first for the center's Tyrant. So then probably it almost finished off that battlecruiser, but then it switched in the last second. That's why I was already dead. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason right there. Yeah, you know, something I've been thinking about is officer hunting. That is actually a cool idea, because but it requires a lot of attention, or how do you say, patience, because what you do is you go to asteroid belts. There's always a tiny chance that these officers can spawn in. The officers are ships that drop the officer modules. Officer modules are like extremely powerful Dead Space modules. So Dead Space modules, or faction modules, are modules that can drop from these, like these True Sancha guys. You see these True Sancha that I said that could spawn? He didn't spawn, but they could have spawned. Those are Dead Space or faction modules. There's specifically Dead Space is like a one that you can find in D&D complexes, but I consider this faction and Dead Space to be almost the same thing, because they're valued at about the same price. Then you got officer modules drop from the officers, and they cost about 10 times more than Dead Space and faction modules. Those are crazy. The thing is, they're so rare that you can go weeks and weeks and weeks, months, not find a single one. Even less than DED sites, and I'm even having bad luck finding them. So you really just have to have good luck. It didn't seem like, or maybe I'm thinking maybe I would do that. Maybe I could do that and grind endlessly off camera, and then I can show you guys if I do find one. But I'm not sure if I want to go through that torture. Okay, so there we got the Haven done. Haven is complete, and we're going to warp back to space. I got a 22 million tick there. If we go into my transactions, you can see 25 million, but you got a bit of the tax. So I like 30 million ticks, but you can see here I did a few mistakes here and there. So we're obviously not going to get the perfect 30 million ISK tick. I consider the 30 million ISK tick to be the perfect one. Now I've obviously got the how do you say? Oh, I forgot actually. I need to bookmark the mobile tractor unit, because later I'll come here in my Tyra, collect this and the loot and salvage stuff. get a lot of ISK. Always do that. Really good, nice extra ISK you do right there. Especially if you have done many sites, you can just bookmark them all. Remember in the beginning, I had like mobile tracked unit 1, mobile tracked unit 2, 3, etc. Then you can just go with your your cargo ship. I've got Tyra, which is a big cargo ship, and you just go to one, collect it, go to the next one, collect it, go to the third one, collect it, boom, go in your station, dock it there, sell it to contracts. Easy money right there. Okay, so Haven done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.